If you would like some good quality anime merch, you can get it from Beautiful Halo, link in the description, and don't forget to use my link. And for 5% off on your next $49 plus order, use the code MEME, and for 10% off on your next $99 plus order, use code MEME, MEME, and let's get right into the intro. Welcome back, guys. This is King Weebs here, and this is What If Naruto was experimented on part 2. Last time we left off with Naruto actually talking to himself, saying that this is the start of a new journey for him, and Naruto is not expecting to make new friends at all, but he knows that this journey with this new team is going to be fun, that's for sure. Something that Naruto has noticed is that Tsuki is actually a prodigy, like a really good one, like a generational genius, and she learns really fast, and he thought of actually helping her out training, since he can see a lot of improvement that she needs to make. But anyways, of course, as of right now, Naruto doesn't have the time for it, since he's actually still trying to get used to the normal life of a shinobi. Since he used to be an Anbu, it was really different. And anyways, Tsuki, of course, being still wanting to understand why Naruto, well, if Naruto could actually train her, still trying to find Naruto and ask him if he can train her. Of course, actually comes across the stone statues, and she sees someone sitting up there. Of course, Naruto, he was sitting up there because he was actually just talking to himself, and that's his favorite spot in the village. But anyways, Tsuki sees it and actually goes up there, actually sneaks behind Naruto, but then Naruto, of course, gets a kunai out because he didn't really know if she's trying to kill him, because he can't really know what he can he doesn't know what to expect from people, since he's never really interacted with them at all. Anyways, Tsuki then says, "It's just me, I was just trying to scare you. It's you don't have to get so aggressive." And Naruto then apologizes, saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's just that I don't know what came over me, I'm sorry." And Tsuki's like, "Oh no, it's fine, I guess I shouldn't have scared you like that." And Naruto then says, "No, it's alright." And anyways, now Tsuki and Naruto actually start talking. Naruto asks Tsuki how she learned the majestic destroyer flame so fast, and Tsuki says that it was actually really easy. It was it had the basic steps that she knew how to do. And Naruto's like, basics. I wouldn't really call them basics, since he taught me quite a bit. Anyways, Tsuki's like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't know it would be so hard." And Naruto's like, "It's fine, you're a genius, that's for sure." And Tsuki then blushes, and basically she's never been complimented much in her life, other than her parents, but they're gone. Anyways, she wasn't even the best in the academy, because she didn't really try it there. And now, of course, Naruto actually, who asked Tsuki why she came up here, and Tsuki actually explained that she wanted to see if Naruto could train her, because she needs someone to actually train her, and she thought that Naruto would be the best person because he's really strong and he knows a lot of things. And Naruto then says, "Interesting, I could train you, but you gotta prove yourself to me." And Naruto doesn't mean it as in, "Oh, can you learn?" Because he knows clearly that she can learn pretty fast as well, since she showed that she can learn by mastering the majestic destroyer flame within a day, which Naruto took weeks, months to master, in fact. Anyways, Tsuki then asks, how can I prove myself? And Naruto actually explains that she needs to fight him and actually be able to stay on par with him at least for a full minute straight, which is, you'd think it's easy, but it really isn't. It's Naruto. Of course, Tsuki then says, "But you're so strong, how am I meant to beat someone like you?" And Naruto says, "Oh, you see, you gotta find a way. That's the only way I'm ever going to train you. So it's up to you what you're gonna do next. Anyways, have a nice day." And of course, Naruto walks off. Naruto actually wants to trade Tsuki. He believes in Tsuki, and Tsuki actually, believes in herself, and she's like, if I have to prove myself, I'll prove myself. I swear it. And basically Naruto just waves goodbye. And now the next day, Tsuki and Naruto, well, Team 7 actually come together, including Naruto, and they begin their missions. Naruto didn't really need to do anything. He just had to supervise over, the team 7 with Kakashi. Since Naruto's already on Anbu and he's already Jonin level, he doesn't need to do this. Sorry for the background noise, it's just the police. God's sake. Anywho, of course, Naruto and Tsuki, Tsuki was actually trying to fight Naruto after their missions every day, and Naruto didn't really mind this. Of course, Tsuki didn't even last for 10 seconds against Naruto, especially because Naruto's super strong, and Naruto wasn't allowing her to get anywhere near. He wasn't going to have any mercy. If he was going to train Tsuki, if Tsuki was going to get stronger, he would beat by Naruto, not holding anything back. If he did, then Tsuki wouldn't get anywhere. And so, he's treating her like a normal adversary, but of course, he's not going to kill her, of course. He's not going to go all out, otherwise he will kill her accidentally without even noticing. So he keeps a lot of his power suppressed, but of course, when it comes down to it, he doesn't hold back fully. That the reaction time is slow. His reaction time is just as fast as he would be against a Jonin or even another Anbu, or if he would be against a Sanin level ninja. Anyways, of course, Tsuki over time just keeps getting stronger and stronger, and each time over 2 weeks, she's actually able to go from just 10 seconds, which was actually pretty impressive in Naruto's opinion, but she did push her body to, dangerous circumstances. For example, bleeding quite a bit, but now she can even last for 25 seconds without even getting, well, of course getting injured, but of course not as bad as before. She's not bleeding everywhere. Anyways, of course Naruto is proud of Tsuki, every time getting stronger and even learning new techniques over time. Of course Naruto, even though he's not training her personally, he actually does hint at jutsus that she can learn, and of course she'll have to find out how to do them herself. Of course, Naruto in the end actually just leaves the scroll somewhere where Tsuki can actually find them or access it pretty easily, or even buy it off someone, and Naruto will just use that money to actually treat Team 7 or treat her after their little training session. Of course, Naruto will already start Tsuki's training just by every time Tsuki actually tried to fight him. Naruto was training Tsuki at the same time. This would change, this would actually, come to Tsuki's mind over time after she actually, finally is able to last a full minute against Naruto, because by the time she's able to do that, she will realize that Naruto has been training her this whole time, and of course this was all in Naruto's mind. Naruto's actually an amazing teacher. She doesn't realize this, or he doesn't realize this either, but he's a really good teacher from the get-go, and of course he hasn't been around many people, but of course his interaction with people from how he started from age of 12, so basically he was pretty much isolated from normal people, or just other people his age for 8 years straight, and of course he's acting more like an adult in front of Tsuki and Sasuke and Sakura. And anyways, of course Tsuki sees Naruto as a bit older than her, even though he's younger than her, but she can see that Naruto is more mature than her, much stronger than her, and in a lot of ways much more diligent than her, because she really cannot do things on her own, and over time Naruto is training her. Of course Tsuki is learning really fast because she's a generational genius. Anyways, 3 weeks pass and Naruto can see that Tsuki went from 25 seconds within 2 weeks, and within a week she increased it to 45 seconds, which Naruto realized that she could actually finish this within 2 more days if she trained hard enough. And so Naruto wanted to give her one last push, saying that Tsuki Tsuki could actually learn how to heal her body at the same time, and this is something called fast regeneration, forcing yourself to regenerate. But Naruto of course knows that this is dangerous, but he can see that Tsuki has immense amount of chakra reserves, and also because Tsuki has a pretty strong life force, Naruto can actually see this. And one more thing is that she has the Sharingan, and of course her chakra control is much better than Sasuke's and Sakura's put together, and he can actually see that Tsuki could actually control her cells to a point where she wouldn't even suffer any damage from, or for example, losing years of life for doing it. And this is something that Naruto has noticed, because Naruto actually forcefully regenerated Tsuki's cells once she actually fainted after after a fight. And Naruto saw that, Tsuki's body didn't age at all, or nothing happened to her body, no side effects, no nothing. Naruto of course had a few side effects in the past, but of course they don't show as much. But Naruto can feel them. While Tsuki had none, Naruto could even see that she had none. But anyways, now, of course, Tsuki thought on how to do this, and Naruto says, imagine you're using chakra in your cells. We usually use chakra we emit chakra to create jutsu. For example, let's say the fireball jutsu, it comes out of us. But try to imagine your chakra being inside your blood, inside your actual cells, and then use that to actually increase the rate of regeneration, which actually would increase the regeneration rate. Wait, I just said that. What? English. Anyways, of course, after this, Tsuki was able to do it within a day, and the very next day, Tsuki was able to last a full minute against Naruto. And Naruto actually says, "Well done. Your first part of your training is over." And Tsuki, widens her eyes and realizes that Naruto has been training her this whole time. He wasn't really actually testing her at all. In fact, her training started once she actually started fighting Naruto 3 weeks ago. Of course, Tsuki actually hugged Naruto, saying thank you for everything. And Naruto says it's fine, but you got a long way to go. This is just the first step. I wasn't even trying against you. I'm sure you've noticed that a long time ago, right? And Tsuki says yes, of course, but I'm happy at least I got to get a bit stronger. And Naruto says, even though I am a pretty strong shinobi, there is someone even stronger than me, and that is the Hokage. So if you think I'm strong, imagine him. Imagine that. He's a monster. He was considered the god of shinobi when he was at his prime. Of course, he's an elderly man now, but still, he's a monster within the nations. He's feared. In fact, he's known to be the strongest Kage out of all 5 Kage. So, do you really think I'm strong now? And Tsuki says it doesn't matter if he's stronger than you. It doesn't mean that you're weak. And Naruto actually thought that if there's someone stronger than you, you're always weak. And this was actually what Danzo engraved into his mind. And Tsuki actually fully destroyed that and said that even if you're stronger, even if someone's stronger than you, it doesn't mean that you're weak. It means that you just have to work even harder to get even stronger than what you already are. It doesn't mean that you're not strong. It just means that that person worked much harder than you, or that person had much more time than you to work on skill sets. For example, someone might have had 6 months of training. You might have had the one. You're pretty strong, but he's stronger. It doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're strong, but you're not as strong as him. It means that you need to train even harder. And of course, Naruto never thought of this. He never thought of it that way. He thought of it more like, oh, if there's anyone stronger than me, I'm weak. Anyways. Anywho, after this, Naruto and Tsuki, of course, begin their little bit of training before the 1 month finishes. Of course, they didn't know that they've only been, after a month, they're going to start new missions. But Sasuke actually got pretty tired of these easy missions. And so, yeah, once they actually went to the Hokage to get the next mission, Sasuke actually complained. And, the Hokage knew that Sasuke and Tsuki are really strong, and plus there's Naruto and Kakashi. Of course, Sakura is okay, but not the best, but still, with 2 Jonin level slash Sani level ninjas, they they are definitely more than capable enough to take on a C rank mission. Anyways, the Hokage was more than glad to give them a mission, and so Tazuna then walks in. Here, Naruto, of course, didn't really want to do the C rank mission because he didn't want to get out of the village as of right now. He doesn't feel like it. After all, he has been doing this for the past 8 years since he was being 4. Of course, even though he was training with Danzo, it didn't mean he didn't do missions. Of course, Danzo was going to give him missions even outside the village. And anyway, of course, now Naruto and Team 7 were getting ready. Well, of course, they understood what the mission is, and they had to escort Tazuna. Tazuna doesn't make any jokes, even when he's drunk, because you can feel that, you know, they are pretty strong. He can even see it. Naruto has a look in his eyes that, you know, he doesn't give a shit. He would kill if he had to, and yes, he would. Naruto will just kill anyways. Now, of course, Naruto and Team 7 go home. Naruto doesn't really need to prepare anything. All he needs is literally a few kunais, and that's pretty much it, which he already holds on him, and the rest is alright. Of course, some clothes in case he needs to change. Other than that, is nothing else. Naruto, of course, then meets up with Team 7 the next day, and asks them if they're ready. Of course, they say that they are. Sakura says that she's kind of worried a bit, but Naruto then says, well, you need to train harder if you're worried about C rank mission. It shouldn't be too hard anyway. Anyways, of course, Sakura kind of got embarrassed there because she doesn't train at all, and Naruto knows that for a fact. He's never seen her around the village training, or he's never seen her in training ground 7 where him and Tsuki actually train. But anyways, of course, Sakura needs to train, because if she doesn't, she's going to be left behind, and she's going to lose pretty much everything that she does, basically every time she fights someone or something. Anyways, now Naruto and Tsuki were talking about this mission until Kakashi appeared with Tazuna. Yes, they came at the same time, but anyways, the mission begins, and Naruto wasn't going to interfere with this mission. He told Kakashi prior, the day before, he told Kakashi that he wasn't going to interfere with this mission because there's no need. It should be a pretty easy mission since it's a C rank mission. But then Kakashi does tell Naruto that they are still Genin, so you never know. And Naruto then says, listen, Kakashi, we do not get involved in this unless something is like it's a dire situation, and they are more than capable enough to take on even tuning level ninjas. Well, at least Suki and Sasuke are. And Kakashi understands where Naruto's coming from. He has seen Sasuke's abilities, same with Tsuki. But anyways, now, of course, a few hours later, well, they walk for a bit until they actually see the puddle. They notice it, and Tsuki has been training this whole month with Naruto basically, and so she realizes that this must be a substitution because there was no rain over this 1 month that they were Genin. And so, anywho, of course, Sasuke noticed this too, and as soon as the two demon brothers appeared, Sasuke actually went off to actually destroy them, and he did as per normal. Suki didn't even do anything because she knew that Sasuke would have done it. She saw Sasuke's eyes narrow as soon as they appeared, and as she was about to step in herself, Sasuke went ahead of her. And anyways, now, of course, they interrogate the two demon brothers as per normal, and they tell them that they're after Tazuna and everything. And after a bit of arguing, Team 7 continues the mission, and of course, after a few more hours of walking, as soon as they enter, anyways, of course, Zabuza appeared, and the fight against Kakashi commenced, began. A better way to describe it. Anyways, now, after this, Naruto and Team 7 were just watching Kakashi actually fighting Zabuza, and Naruto thought that Kakashi was actually getting more tired each time. Well, every minute that he used the Sharingan, and he realized that over time, if Kakashi keeps going like this, if he doesn't finish the fight as fast as possible, he's going to run out of chakra, and he's going to mess up. And so Naruto tells Kakashi to finish off as fast as possible, and as Kakashi actually was about to finish it, he actually slips, which then Naruto actually decides to jump in, telling his team not to get in the way, because this is dangerous. Like, it's a life or death situation for Kakashi. And so Naruto literally jumps in and gets out his lightning release. Of course, he was going to electrocute Zabuza, but then Zabuza puts the water prison in front of himself. So if Naruto actually threw any type of lightning release attack towards him, he would not only electrocute him, but also Kakashi, which Naruto does not want to do. Anyways, of course, Naruto now has to actually use a technique where he can bind, or he can actually stop Zabuza and save Kakashi without having any, anyone disturbing him or anything, or anyone interfering. And so he actually decides to use something that he wasn't meant to show this team until they actually got strong enough to actually make him use it, because he knows that he was going to have to fight them one day once Kakashi does the belt test again, because he knows that Kakashi will do it again, since he wants to see how much better this team has gotten. And that's something Kakashi told him himself, because Kakashi and Naruto actually do talk about this team, since it's basically Naruto's like the teacher to this team as well. He doesn't really fight at all, and anyways, he's not really part of the team, not as in like, oh, he doesn't deserve to. I mean, as in an actual student. He's just there to supervise and make new friends. And the Hokage actually did this because he actually knew that Naruto had to make some friends, and so he put him in Team 7, especially because of Kakashi being meaner to student back in the days. Anyways, after this, Naruto actually uses the wood binding. Yes, he actually does a few hand seals, and wood comes out from the ground, which Zabuza actually has to dodge by jumping. And Kakashi, even though he's pretty startled, he has to continue the fight, and so he rushes in towards Zabuza and tries to Chidori him, but out of nowhere, three Senbon hit Zabuza, and after that, he's fainted. After this, Naruto and Kakashi see Haku arriving, and Haku tries to fake it, but Naruto says, "We know you're his subordinate. No Anbu does this. Anbus check the body on the spot. They will not risk their village's safety, so we know that you're just faking it. Unfortunately for you, I was part of the Anbu. And plus, even Kakashi Sensei was part of them. So, you might as well just fight." And Naruto was getting ready to fight Haku. But then Haku actually disappeared using, body flicker, which Naruto wasn't expecting for Haku to actually just give up like that, just escape. But remember, Haku is not fond of fighting. And anyways, now, of course, Naruto was about to follow them until he realized that Kakashi was really tired, and he literally fell on his knees, and Naruto's like, "God damn it." And so he actually helped up Kakashi, and Tarzan actually offered to bring them to his home. Anyways, Naruto actually goes on and tells Team 7 that they will meet them again, and this time they will all have to work together. Even though Naruto could take them on his own, he doesn't want to do that because he wants his team to actually grow. And of course, even Kakashi wants that. Anyways, Kakashi begins their training by actually teaching them tree walking, something that Tsuki actually learns within a few minutes. Same as Sakura, a bit later than Tsuki, but then it's Sasuke. Naruto sees that, and so he actually gives a few tips to Sasuke, which Sasuke ignores, saying that he doesn't need them. And so Naruto tells him, "You do you then." And then he actually goes off to train Tsuki. Of course, Tsuki actually continued her training with Naruto the whole week. And here, Naruto and Tsuki actually met Haku together when they were actually training. Of course, Haku told them about if they have anyone dear to them, they will get stronger and stronger just to protect them. And Naruto says, "Oh well, I guess I don't have any dear to me." And Tsuki's like, "What do you mean? Your parents?" And Naruto said, "I don't have any." And basically, Tsuki didn't know this about Naruto, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And Naruto's like, "It's fine. It's not like you have any anymore. So we're the same basically." And Tsuki's that, yeah. Anyways, of course, now a few days later, Naruto, Tsuki, well, Team 7 actually heads out, and here Naruto actually leaves a clone behind because, yeah, after hearing about Gato, he can't really trust Gato's, and you never know, he might send men to kill them, and so he left a clone hiding. And as soon as Gato's men appeared, Naruto, of course, with this Naruto's clones, got in the way and actually saved both Inari and his mother, and tied up the men, and actually pretty much nearly killed them by actually, and since they actually tried to fight Naruto, really they didn't have any chance. So anyways, after this, Naruto's clone took them to the village, well, the town that near them. And anyways, of course, in the battlefield, Naruto was watching both Tsuki and Sasuke fighting, and of course Tsuki having the majestic destroyer flame and being a lot stronger now. She's already near high tier tuning, and so she attacks the mirrors and with a majestic destroyer flame, destroying it. And Haku has to use his ice release, which Tsuki has no counter to. Haku uses such strong ice release that even Tsuki's majestic destroyer flame couldn't counter it. It was way too cold, and the majestic destroyer flame just got destroyed. Destroyer flame gets destroyed anyways. Now, Naruto, of course, watches this and was about to intervene until he realizes Sasuke was actually about to come in with his Lion's Barrage. I'm joking, not Lion's Barrage, but a pretty good technique, something that he learned on his own, and it was the Fire Phoenix Jutsu. Of course, it was just him doing a little fireball jutsu. Sorry for the background noises, I can't stop the police. A little fireball jutsu, and then throws kunais in it. We've seen it from Edo Itachi doing it, and plus it's pretty OP. It's like a shotgun. Anyways, now of course he does that, but Haku was able to protect himself with a wall of ice, and then he actually threw Senbone at both Sasuke and Tsuki. But here was Sakura, who actually got in the way, and Naruto saw that Sakura actually tried to stop the Senbone with her own body, which actually pissed off Sasuke, and he said, "I told you not to get in the way, you damned loser." And then basically Sasuke was about to attack Haku again, but Haku knocked him out, and Tsuki actually decided to use her true strength and literally go off on Haku with a genjutsu first of all, but Haku was able to break out of it. Remember, Haku is pretty strong, really strong to be honest. And anyways, now of course Haku and Tsuki have a little bit of a fight, but she was bloodied and she fell to the ground, and Haku said, "There's no point of fighting. If you fight any further, you will die. So please, just give up. I don't want to kill you." And then Tsuki was about to stand up again, and Naruto actually came in now, and he's "Alright, that's enough. Stand down. You've lost. There's no point of fighting anymore. I'll take him on." And Naruto actually told Haku, well, not Haku, he doesn't know it's Haku yet. They couldn't even get his mask off. Anyways, Naruto told this guy that to get ready to actually fight, and Haku then actually heard the sound of 1,000 birds. And anyways, of course, Naruto's like, "Where you running to?" And as he says that, Haku blitzes past him, and Naruto's like, "Damn, he's fast." And then he saw Haku about to get stabbed by Haku getting stabbed by the Chidori, and the Chidori was so strong that he actually broke Haku's mask too. And Naruto realized who this was, even Tsuki, and Naruto and Tsuki asked why, just why. And Haku then explains to them that Zabuza is his precious one, and he would do anything, even give his own life up for Zabuza. And so Naruto understood and said, "Well, I guess you did give your life up." Anyways, after this, Haku dies, and Naruto, of course, has a little moment of silence for him. Of course, no one talked in the battlefield until Zabuza says, "Finally, that damn tool. He finally served his purpose. Took him long enough." And anyways, of course, Naruto gets pissed at the same as Tsuki, but Naruto goes in first, and he says, "Do you really think he's a tool after saving you from from death?" And Zabuza starts laughing, saying that he was near death. He could have easily dodged that. And Naruto says, "Is that why Haku's there? Haku knows much better than anyone here that you would have survived that, if you would have survived that. But in fact, he gave his own life up because he knew you were going to die from that technique. In fact, even last time, Kakashi Sensei was about to finish you off with the same technique, and Haku came in the way. As always, you were saved by him twice, not once, but twice. You should be ashamed of yourself, calling someone else a tool after being saved by them twice in a row. Do you really think he's the tool? If you weren't there, Haku would have had a much better life. Think about it." And basically after this, Gato appeared, and he told everyone that he wasn't even going to pay Zabuza and Haku. He was just doing it to get rid of them because they were pests, and he couldn't get rid of them, plus he didn't want to pay them. Anyways, now Zabuza got pretty pissed off because Haku died because of this man, basically. And so he's like, "You damned monster." And and then Gato says, "You can't really call me a monster when you're a monster yourself, taking innocent people's life for money." And Naruto then says, "You're just as bad." And as he says that, both Zabuza and Naruto actually start fighting Gato's men, and one by one they all killed them. Naruto has an apathetic look in his face now, and everyone sees Naruto's little animalistic side. Naruto is going off of his instincts and killing on a whim. It's not really on a whim, but still he wanted to kill them because he actually thought of Haku as a friend. He actually respected Haku, since he did give a pretty inspirational speech to him. But anyways, of course, Naruto then says, "Are you ready to die?" And then he was actually about to kill Gato, but then was stopped by Zobs and says, "This one's mine." And then he gets his sword out and skewering him. I'm joking. But anyways, making some sushi, Zobs finished off and then rested next to Haku and apologized to Haku's dead body. And Naruto just had a smile on his face and said, "So you weren't as bad as I thought." And then he actually took the two bodies and literally buried them next to each other, and Naruto says, "You guys deserve this." And anyways, after this, Team 7 returns after helping out the bridge builder, and they report to the Hokage. Of course, the Hokage was confused and he apologized to Team 7 for putting them under that, but of course the Team 7 said it's fine because it was good development for them. They finally understood what it means to be a ninja and what Naruto and Kakashi must have went through to become so strong. Anyways, of course, Naruto and Kakashi saw multiple people die in front of them, especially Kakashi, since that he's seen like his own friends being killed in front of him, and that is not a fun thing to see. But anyways, of course, Naruto then told Team 7 about the tuning exams. Yes, Naruto himself, Kakashi didn't even bother because as always he's lazy. But anyways, of course, Team 7 starts training. Naruto doesn't even help Tsuki here. Tsuki did ask for help, but Naruto then told her that he can't help her as of right now, since she has to do it on her own, and the whole of the tuning exams she'll have to do on her own or find someone else to train her, since he won't be helping, and Naruto won't be taking part in the tuning exams because he doesn't need to. He's already an Anbu. Well, he was an Anbu, and he's way too strong to enter the tuning exams. If he does, he'd probably fuck up the game real quick and just finish it off, and maybe even kill people in the process without even trying. But anyways, of course, now Team 7 trains for the next 2 weeks. Yes, here they found out much earlier thanks to Naruto, since he's basically like their second teacher. But anyways, of course, Naruto sees all of them training. Even Sakura starts training a bit, but of course, she's not too fond of it and starts looking at Sasuke after training for like 2 minutes. I'm joking, not 2 minutes, like an hour or so. But Naruto knows that Sakura is not going to do well in the tuning exams because she's not training as hard as the other two. The other two are going to get far in the tuning exams and maybe even get to the finals, maybe even win it, or maybe they'll even verse each other in the finals of the tuning exams. And Naruto knows a lot about the tuning exam. Naruto's been told everything about the tuning exam, the first, second, preliminaries, and third part of the exam, which is basically the finals, the third part. But anyways, of course, Naruto's not going to tell his team other than that they need to train hard, and they can't slack, because if they slack, they're going to pretty much get annihilated. They're going to lose. But anyways, of course, now Team 7 reunites after 2 weeks, and they go to the tuning exams, and the first exam is passed easily by Team 7. Tsuki actually destroying all the scores put by past top score holders like Minato and Itachi, because she's a generational genius, just like Minato, but even smarter thanks to her ability. I'm joking. But anyways, yes, she beats Minato's score, and after this, the second part of the tuning exams begins, and Naruto's actually put in one of the scrolls. Anyways, Team 7 still gets attacked by Orochimaru, but here Orochimaru actually just escapes because he doesn't need to do anything else. He doesn't even want Tsuki's body because he doesn't know about Tsuki being a generational genius, and thought that Sasuke was basically like Itachi Jr. But anyways, now after this, Sasuke is still getting the curse mark and tried to saving Team 7 since basically Tsuki was actually out cold, and Sakura was getting attacked by the sound shinobi. But anyways, after all of this, Team 7 was able to pass, and of course Iruka comes out of their scroll. And anyways, Naruto actually goes to congratulate them right before the preliminaries begin, and then of course the preliminaries begin, and the fights are pretty much everything goes the same other than Naruto's fight, because Naruto is actually been replaced by Tsuki. Tsuki was easily able to destroy Kiba. And anyways, now Gaara still nearly kills Lee. And just saying, The explanation about wood release was given by Naruto to Team 7 and Kakashi. Of course, now the Hokage came to know that, Naruto has wood release. And anyways, now, after all of this, the training exams continued, and Hinata got annihilated by uh, Hinata got annihilated by Neji himself. But anyways, of course, here it was actually Tsuki to make the promise that because Tsuki's friend is actually Hinata and Tsuki are actually friends, and Tsuki promises that she's going to destroy Neji, and even if she's a prodigy, she has to work hard. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean she will just get there easily. She has to work hard, because there are people like Naruto out there who are much stronger than her, easily able to destroy people like her, because they are weak compared to him. And also there are people like Might Guy, someone who doesn't even know how to use chakra, and he's really strong. In fact, he's the strongest one out of all the Jonin, other than the Hokage, and maybe other than Kakashi, because he would never use the 8th gate on him unless it's a dire situation. Anywho, of course, I'm pretty sure I said that Lee gets annihilated by Gaara. But anyways, this is actually recorded a long time after I started this recording. I've actually taken a break from YouTube because I couldn't be yourself. I was extremely burnt out. I really don't want to continue YouTube like this, like where I just keep going and I don't have fun anymore. I'd rather have some rest, come back stronger than ever, come back with some more motivation. And anyways, now, of course, after all of this ends, Tsuki actually goes to Naruto to ask if he can train her. Naruto then says no, he cannot. He will not train Tsuki at all, because he wants Tsuki to pass her exam on her own, while Naruto will be training on his own as well. He'll be training to get even stronger, because he knows that he can get even stronger than what he already is. He may be strong as hell right now, and maybe he might be stronger than anyone in the village, other than, the Jonin and the Hokage, but still, he needs to get even stronger than this and become stronger than the Hokage one day, and the strongest Kage out of them all, because he wants to protect this village. And of course, to protect this village, he needs to have a pretty good reputation, not only as a good man, but also as a pretty strong shinobi. But anyways, now, Tsuki understands that Naruto wants her to pass her on her own, and so she actually asks Kakashi for some training, and Kakashi of course trains both Tsuki and Sasuke. Anyways, now, Naruto of course on his own, he wasn't actually training right now, but he was actually sorry, I'm too close to him, right? He was actually on his own and wandering around the village, just checking up, and plus he wanted to get some ramen. After all, it's been a while since he hasn't had any. And he still meets Jiraiya. Here he recognizes him straight away, and he ponders why Jiraiya is actually talking to him, and he knows his name. Of course, Naruto asks, and Jiraiya says that he doesn't need to know that information, but he wants to teach Naruto. And Naruto asks why he wants to teach him out of all people. There are other bright people in this village. And, Jiraiya says that Naruto reminds him a lot of the fourth Hokage who, he trained in the past, and Naruto actually accepts, because he doesn't mind being trained by Jiraiya himself, because he knows Jiraiya can easily beat him and, easily put him to the ground and, make him beg for mercy. But anyways, Naruto and Jiraiya begin their training for the next month. Naruto actually trains just as like in the original, just that he only needs to learn a few things from Jiraiya, because his taijutsu is on point, his genjutsu is on point, and he learns the summoning jutsu, which he didn't have. Of course, he could have had one, but he didn't like any of the summoning, so he actually said no to it. And now that he actually liked the toad summoning, he just had that little attraction to it, and he decided to take it. Of course, Jiraiya was more than glad to give Naruto the toad summoning. Anyways, of course, now Naruto is looking more and more like, the fourth Hokage, just that he has a Sharingan hidden underneath his his headband. But anyways, of course, now Naruto actually begins the training on the Rasengan. Here, Naruto learns it within 2 weeks. He wasn't in a rush, just like in the original, where he had to learn it quickly. And here, it wasn't just with a clone, but with one hand, especially because his chakra control is on a different level from the original. And even after Naruto's training with Jiraiya, he needed a clone to create a Rasengan. So, technically, this Naruto is much stronger than the 15-year-old Naruto. So, already a 14-year-old Naruto, about to be 14-year-old Naruto, is already stronger than his counterpart of the Naruto Shippuden in the original. I'm pretty sure he becomes 17 during the war. Anyways, now Naruto, who was already training with Jiraiya, and Jiraiya actually tells Naruto that the Rasengan is an incomplete jutsu. Of course, they still have 2 weeks to learn new jutsus, but Jiraiya actually decides for Naruto to do this on his own. Of course, they actually wanted to first try out together, and Naruto actually created a stronger Rasengan, but it blew him away. He actually added wind release to it because he felt comfortable adding it, and he created a pretty strong Rasengan, and he made a pretty loud noise, which then exploded in his hand because he couldn't contain the power within this Rasengan, and he blew himself back. But he realized that he inflicted damage on his own body, and he got cut. He was bleeding from his hand, from his chest, where he actually exploded. He didn't actually literally try to shove it inside his chest. No, he literally exploded, and Naruto had cuts on his face too. Jiraiya helped him out, and anyways, Jiraiya said that this is something Naruto will have to do on his own for the next 2 weeks while he goes on a training, while he goes on a mission real quick, and he'll return one day, pretty much to see who wins the Chunin exams, and to see how's the Hokage doing. And Naruto accepts. He says his goodbyes, and Naruto continues his training. Of course, Naruto actually decided to add all different types of chakra natures, and yeah, the easiest one was actually lightning release, something that he was actually pretty weak at compared to the other chakra releases that he has, chakra natures that he has. And he actually threw it because he just had that intention. He just wanted to see what would happen if he throws it, and he vanished. Naruto thought that maybe throwing it wouldn't contain the chakra, but then after a few seconds later, he actually heard a large explosion. Not a large explosion, he didn't put too much chakra into it because he didn't know if he could explode on him again, and this time it could paralyze him or something. And so he actually put a little bit, but then he looks at the rock that he actually threw it at, and it was a pretty far range, and Naruto realized that the effect of the Rasengan happened on the rock, but it was at a later time. At first he thought it was the lightning release would actually delay the effect, but then he threw it one more time, but it took the same amount of time, which meant that it's and also he done a few other tests, and he went even further and realized the effect takes longer to happen, which means that this is a vanishing Rasengan. And Naruto finally found out, because he wouldn't straight away know it would be vanishing. He thought it was just a latent reaction, but it would vanish at the same time. But now, of course, Naruto, who understood this, he realizes that the Rasengan has so many possibilities, so many different types of Rasengans could be made, and 2 different chakra natures could be combined in the Rasengan, which is actually an amazing technique. And anyways, of course, Naruto continues his training, now having more motivation to actually learn how the Rasengan can actually interact with other chakra natures and multiple chakra natures put together in one. Anyways, of course, Naruto doesn't get too far other than actually realizing that he can actually change the formation of the Rasengan, so the chakra formation, and make it into a Rasen Shuriken, but he didn't get too close to it. He was getting close to a small Rasen Shuriken, but just like in the original, he couldn't contain it, and once he did, once he actually used it up against one of his own clones, his clone got annihilated, same as the Rasengan, and it left an aftershock, basically, where the Rasengan actually hit the ground underneath it, started crumbling. Not crumbling, but there was a little crater, and there was swirling pounds on it, which is actually the swirling pound of the Rasengan, because he spins. Anyways, a month has fully passed. Naruto actually goes to the Chunin exams and watches the fights. Tsuki's first. Tsuki learned a few new techniques, and something that Naruto also has been doing is trying to actually allow himself to activate and deactivate the Sharingan at any time he wants, because he is not used to the he really doesn't like the look of having a mask, basically, you know what I mean, and hiding the Rasengan. He'd rather actually see with both eyes at any moment, and so he's actually been trying to modify his own cells, and it's something that he could actually do with his Hashirama cells, or all the things that all the tests that have happened to him. And plus, he actually went to Danzo for once, and Danzo said that it could be done And Naruto, of course, during that 2 weeks, he actually had an operation where, of course, he was actually able to do it. And don't ask me how. This is actually plot convenience because I actually don't want Naruto to wear a mask the whole time. And plus, people are going to become suspicious. It's just like what Danzo did. And if Hugo actually used the uh, Byakugan on him, of course, he wasn't fighting. But if Hugo used the Byakugan on him, they would see that his eye has a lot more chakra than the other eye, and they would actually come to a conclusion that there must be a pretty good explanations for this, right? And anyways, of course, Naruto didn't want that to happen, and so he wanted his eye to go back to normal, and he actually did. Just like his eye actually was black. Instead of blue, it was actually black. It was like the Uchiha eye. They couldn't do anything about that. But now Naruto actually had heterochromia, which is actually a condition, I'm pretty sure, where two of your eyes are two different colors. And yeah, anyways, of course, Naruto had two different eye colors. And once he actually arrived to the tuning exam, some people asked about this, and Naruto actually just said that he didn't want people to show it, but now he realized that there's no point of hiding one of his eyes, and so he's just showing it. And people actually thought that it was pretty cool. Naruto actually still met Konohamaru. Konohamaru was actually watching this, and he was happy to see Naruto. Of course, Naruto met him a bit earlier because of the Hokage's connection with Naruto and Danzo, and since Naruto was with Danzo most of the time. And yeah, of course, Naruto watches Tsuki's fight. Tsuki actually learned a few new things. Not only did she learn the Chidori, but she learned the Lightning Hound, something that Sasuke couldn't learn yet. But of course, Sasuke wasn't too fussed about it because he knew that he could beat Tsuki, because he learned something different, that he can actually add different chakra releases to his lightning. And yes, he actually adds one of his own favorite ones, which is fire, and he makes him much stronger, and he believes that that's strong enough. But anyways, and plus they both had the 3-to-1 Sharingan anyway. They're pretty much on par right now. But Tsuki, of course, what the hell? Sorry guys, that was my mouth making a weird noise. Anyways, Tsuki, of course, could get much further ahead of him thanks to her genius ability, generational genius. Anyways, now, of course, Tsuki gives that inspirational speech, which Naruto agrees with. Naruto agrees that it's not all about talent, because he had no talent at the beginning. Of course, he still got help from operations or modifications to his body, but still he had to work hard to actually learn these techniques. Like the Hashirama cells just gave Naruto wood release years after having them. Like that's like he had to work hard for that, and he's still not a master of wood release. Like he should have trained in wood release during the 1 month training, but he met his godfather, which he's not aware of, Jiraiya being his godfather, because he's not aware that Minato was his father, Kushina was his mother, and they decided that Jiraiya should be his godfather. But anyways, I'm pretty sure if Naruto knew that Jiraiya was his godfather from the very beginning, it would actually have impacted him more than in the original once he heard about his death. But of course, it was still impactful, since he made me cry too multiple times. To this day, I still cry. Why Jiraiya? Why did he have to die? Anyways, stupid character development. Anyways, now Naruto, of course, was watching Tsuki's fight, and Tsuki actually did really well. Even the the rotation, even though Neji had the rotation, Tsuki just baited him into using the rotation with the massive fireball jutsu and the majestic destroyer flame. But Neji did not expect a lightning hound to come from the ground. Yes, from the ground. She had the clone do it from the ground. Not actually from the ground. She sent it into the ground, and he came out behind him, bit him, and he was actually paralyzed. But Neji had some sort of resistance to this paralysis, and he tried to fight on. He could move just a little bit, but in the end, it was all in vain. And Tsuki said, "You used the Chidori," and said, "If he moves one more time, and if he doesn't give up, she cannot guarantee his safety." Basically, the roles were switched here. How Neji told the adjudicator that if Naruto wants to continue, he cannot guarantee his safety, and so if he gets hurt, fatally injured, it's not his fault, because Naruto kept going. And the adjudicator's like, alright. And so Neji actually gave up, and he actually started respecting Tsuki for her hard work and everything. And so his ideals were changed. He was proven wrong that prodigies have everything, and destiny decided your fate already, so there's no point of trying in life, which makes absolutely no shitting fucking sense. Anyways, yo, is that an ant? Hey, it's fucking winter, allow it, please. After a long war, I fought the fight for I fought the war against this ant for like 20 seconds. Took a few hits from a sandal, and it's dead. I have committed murder. I am a horrible human being for killing an ant, but I don't give a shit because I'm scared of them. They deserve death. I have a bad experience with them since a kid. They bit me so many times. All ants should be annihilated. Anywho, and have you seen an ant close up? Fucking hell, that shit looking scary. Hey yo, I'm good. Fam, if I was an ant, I'd kill myself. Anyways, don't kill yourself. Anyways, now, of course, Naruto was really happy to see that Tsuki improved this much, and she developed so much over just a month, and she seems to be much stronger and much more reliable now. Anyways, Naruto congratulates her, and the Chunin exams goes exactly the same for the next 3 fights. Sasuke wasn't even able to use his Fire Chidori because that's what he was actually touching up on last second, and in the end the Chunin exams will go the same way until the Genjutsu, which Naruto was actually not affected with it, of course, and he actually told his team to stay back and actually stopped Sasuke from going straight away. Because he actually wanted to protect his team, he didn't want any of his teammates to do anything. And just saying, the people who asked Naruto why he used to wear a mask was actually Sakura, because Sakura did not participate in the finals. Anyways, of course, Naruto told them to stay back, and if they come near the battlefield, they will die. And he actually scares them off by actually using his bloodlust, and says that if they come, I'll go to the other side and kill you myself because you've disobeyed orders. And plus, the Hokage does not want you to go there. He does not need to worry any further other than his fight. And they realize that Naruto's being serious for once. Literally, he's actually being serious, and Naruto actually, of course, goes to fight Gaara. Of course, once he actually arrives to see Gaara transform, yes, Gaara got transformed straight away here. And anyways, of course, Naruto actually sees this transformation and realizes that Gaara must not be in control, because he does not seem to be in control. Once he's on top of the One Tail's head, he doesn't seem to be conscious or in his right mind. And anyways, of course, Naruto doesn't even summon Gamabunta, and he's able to take on the One Tails on his own. Anywho, Naruto jumps up to the head of Gamabunta and tells Gaara to stop this and not fight anymore. If he fights anymore, he's going to, have the whole entire village up against him. And if he does, he will die. He will have no chance up against the full Leaf Village's, forces. Even though they've been weakened, it doesn't mean that they're weak. And, he actually asks, he actually talking to Jutsu's Gaara, saying that he understands how a Jinchuriki feels. He understands that everyone must hate him, but he went through the same things as him. Even though he made new friends, he made new friendships and new connections with other people. Gaara didn't. He can be Gaara's friend. His first ever friend can be him. And to stop this, or if he does, he won't be able to be his friend, because Naruto will have to put him down. Otherwise, he can be his friend. Anyways, of course, Gaara comes back to his senses, and Naruto still headbutts him last second because Gaara wasn't listening, and Gaara actually started crying, saying that he wants to be his friend. And Naruto then says, then let's stop this fight. And in the end, the whole entire Leaf Village, the attack stopped because the Leaf won, and Naruto actually teleported to to the actual stadium, or the Chunin exams arena. And he actually arrived much earlier, before the Hokage could even use his Reaper Death Seal. And he sees that the first Hokage got reanimated. Of course, he puts Gaara down, same as Temari and Kankuro, who actually knocked out. And Naruto tells everyone to stay back, and he goes to Kakashi, who Kakashi was actually watching the fight. And he asks Kakashi why he can't do anything, and he tells him about this barrier, and those people were actually doing it, and we can't beat them for some reason. And anyways, of course, not beat them, but anyways, of course, the Sand Four were doing the barrier, and Naruto says, alright then, I'll help the Hokage out. You Kakashi Sensei tried to go on the floor underneath and tried to break in while I help the Hokage from here. And Kakashi asks how is he going to do that. Naruto just says, "Watch this." And basically, he makes a hand seal to actually do a wood binding. And Naruto's wood binding goes underneath the barrier and actually comes out and literally binds the two Hokages. And the first Hokage actually realizes this, and even though he's unconscious, he's confused. And he's like, wait, hold up, what? I thought I'm the only one to do this. And there's other people that can do this. Even Boruto, I'm pretty sure Konohama's friend, the girl that used to always hang out with him and his friend, sniffs a lot. Like, that guy. Yeah, she knows how to use wood release. I forgot her name. In fact, let me check now. Moegi, there we go. Moegi Kamatsuri. I don't know how to pronounce the second name. I probably bottled it, but anyways, she knows how to do it. And anyways, Naruto actually adds a seal to it to actually seal them both away, and tells the Hokage to finish the fight because the Hokage had more than enough chakra to finish it. And so, of course, Orochimaru gets kind of fucked, and Naruto still helps, and Kakashi actually is able to break through and use the Raikiri on Orochimaru and actually stop him from actually slicing the Hokage. And in the end, the sound for and Orochimaru escaped. Of course, Orochimaru still had both his arms, so the future will be changed. Anywho, that's where I'm gonna end off. Of course, this what if is taking a long while to do because I've been taking a lot of breaks in between, but I will continue, and I will at least continue to do what ifs for 2 weeks straight. I'm pretty sure I'll be coming back on the 3rd of January, so this what if will be finished by the time I actually start uploading the last part of the Tsunade what if. But anyways, hope you'll enjoy it. Please stay safe. This will be coming out on the 5th of January. I'm pretty sure. Wait, 5th? 3rd is that? 4th is, yeah, 5th of January. I hope you'll enjoy it. Please stay safe. This was the King of Weaves, and don't forget to subscribe to Ratreet, Miniman123, and my friend Hxmesh, and also my second channel. And don't forget to follow Shoker on Instagram, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and get your good quality anime merch from Beautiful Halo. Use my link in the description below. All the money that I get from there is actually used to support the channel, boost the server, or actually give away Nitro. Yes, I will be doing a Nitro giveaway soon. Of course, by the time that this is over, it's probably going. But by the time this comes out, it's probably going to be over. But anyways, that's why you should join the Discord server in the link in the description below, and be active there. Anyways, my ducklings, you're dismissed. This is the King of Weebs here. I've been raided twice this week. I'm pretty pissed. So the N-word once because I got raided at 2 fucking AM, and man was trying to fucking sleep, and I see people spamming porn on my fucking thing. And anyways, on my server. And some next up bullshit paragraph, and they kept saying I had to ban everyone. And some people were hating on me on VC. I actually joined with them. I was muted. Didn't really care what the fuck they were saying. Don't care. And if you got up to here, hashtag stop the raids, please. Stop the raids, please. Hashtag stop the raids, please. Because this is long. I can't be staying awake till 2 AM to just stop a raid. Anyways, my ducklings, you're dismissed. This was the King of Weebs, and peace.